Hello and welcome to this beginners online yoga class. Just to let you know today that practice is at your own risk. However, throughout your practice, just listening to your body, being mindful of how it feels throughout. If anything doesn't feel right or is causing any pain or discomfort, just coming out of that pose and taking a moment to relax and release. Do remember that at any point during the class today, if you need to take a break, please do so. Just coming to rest at any point should you need to. So for our practice today, we'll need some water by us to keep us hydrated during the class. We'll also need a belt, or if you don't have a belt, a scarf works equally well. We will be relaxing at the end of the class, and after exercise our body temperature can drop quite dramatically. So it's good to have a pillow or a cushion for the head and a blanket to put over the body so that you can be comfortable and warm during that relaxation at the end of the class. So we'll make a start. We're just going to begin by taking the heels to the end of the mat, pointing the toes away, drawing the arms up to shoulder height. We're going to engage the belly, so making that nice and strong, and then just lowering down nice and steady to the mat. So we're going to take the legs hip width apart and just letting the feet gently roll out to the sides. Taking the arms about the width of the mat, turning the palms to face upwards and letting the fingers gently curl in. Lowering the shoulders down, taking them away from the ears, and just closing the eyes and taking the focus inwards towards the body. And just taking a few moments to let the body settle, allowing it to sink down into the support of the mat beneath you. Just relaxing and releasing, letting go of any tension you might be holding in any muscles within the body. And just staying in this lying position. So remaining lying down. Continuing to allow that body to sink downwards and release. Now drawing your focus to the breath. Feel the coming and going of the breath. Be aware of the inhale and feeling the exhale. Yoga comes from the Sanskrit word yug, which means to yoke or to bind. It is the connection between mind, body and the breath. Yoga is an ancient science of well-being, the science of integrating body, mind and soul, the science of actualizing our true potential. Yoga can be thought of variously as a science, a philosophy and a physical practice. Yoga aids all by balancing the nervous system and stilling the mind through its various exercises, from posture to breath control through to meditation. Yoga enables us to connect deeply with our bodies. So just beginning now as you lie still on the mat, really feeling the body and connecting to it from the top of the head to the tips of the toes. Accepting all sensations exactly as they are. So I'm now going to move through the body, drawing your focus to each part one by one, so that we can let each part of the body relax and release to prepare ourselves for our practice today. So beginning as you lie still by taking the focus to the toes, allowing them to soften, smoothing the tops of the feet, the soles of the feet, and relaxing the ankles, softening the calves and the shins, and releasing the knees, creating some heaviness in the thighs, and focusing on the hips, allowing them to open out, creating space in the belly and in the abdomen. Softening the belly and focusing on the chest, allowing it to open and widen with each breath. Drawing the shoulders back and down towards the mat, allowing the area around the top of the chest, the collarbone area, to open and widen. Relaxing the tops of the arms, the elbows, the forearms, and the wrists. Smoothing the palms, the backs of the hands, and softening through the fingers. Relaxing the neck and the jaw, dropping the tongue to the base of the mouth. Smoothing the forehead and the cheeks, just allowing the eyes and the head to sink back and down. So now we're going to take our focus to the breath, and we're going to do some abdominal breathing to start off with. So to help us feel this and connect to our breath, we're going to place our hands on our bellies, and we're going to spread the fingers out. So the middle finger is touching, the other fingers are spread out to the sides. So in yoga, we always breathe in and out through the nose. So we're going to begin by breathing in through the nose, and we're going to send that breath to the belly, allowing the belly to rise upwards as if it's a balloon. So as we do that, the fingers will gently move apart and away from each other. Then as we breathe out, the belly drops down towards the spine and the fingers come back together, middle fingers are now touching. So we're going to work this breath a few times and just really connect to that breath, really feel it in the belly. So breathing in deeply through the nose, sending the breath to the tummy, 2, 3, and pause. Exhaling, allowing that belly to drop down, 3, 4. Another deep in-breath through the nose to the belly, letting it expand upwards, and pause. Exhaling, belly drops down, 2, 3, 4. And again, breathing in deeply, 2, 3, and pause. Exhaling, 2, 3, 4. So one more breath, big and deep, 2, 3, and pause. Exhaling, 2, 3, 4. And now just releasing the hands back down by the sides on the mat. We're just going to begin by breathing a little bit of movement back to our fingers and our toes. So just moving them gently. great. And making them still once more. We're going to draw the legs together. So we have the arms down by the sides. And we're going to take a nice deep breath in to lift the arms upwards towards the ceiling. And then as we breathe out, we're going to drop the arms back and down behind the head along the mat. So we're going to take a few initial stretches to wake up the body and prepare it for our practice today. So we're going to start by taking a deep breath in, and we're going to stretch that left arm and that left leg along the floor. So we're pushing the heel away, we're drawing the toes towards us, spreading the fingers on that right hand, making that side nice and long. And then on an out breath, we're going to soften that side. We'll do the same on the left, so lengthening through left arm, left leg, pushing that left heel away, spreading the fingers, and then breathing out, we're going to relax back down. So now we're going to take a diagonal stretch across the mat. So we're stretching through the right arm, the left leg, stretching away from the centre point of the body, and exhaling to release. So we'll do the same on the other side. So we're lengthening through the left arm, through the right leg, making them nice and long, and then exhaling to release. So lastly, we're going to take a full body stretch as if we're waking up in the morning. So both arms, both legs nice and long. You can also squeeze the buttocks and just lift them a little bit from the mat. So we're balancing on the bottom of the legs. We can open the eyes and the mouth, just waking the face up, stretching that out. And then exhaling, we're going to place the body back down and relax into the mat. So now we're going to breathe in to lift the arms back up. Exhaling, we're going to bend the knees into the chest, hugging the knees in with the arms, and we're just going to rock nice and steadily from side to side. So quite a gentle, slow movement here. And just feeling the connection between the body and the mat, feeling the back connecting to the mat. So as we rock from side to side, the back opens and widens along the mat, giving us that nice massage. And just really feeling that movement, enjoying that release through the back of the body. That's great. So now we're going to come back to centre. We're going to drop the soles of the feet down onto the mat, and we're going to take the feet so that they are hip width apart. So the heel is in a straight line with the toes. Toes are pointing towards that short end of the mat. So nice comfortable distance between the knees. We're going to place the palms down by the sides, and we're going to come into a pose called bridge. So we're going to push into the soles of the feet. We're going to squeeze the bottom, peel it away from the mat, lift the belly upwards. So we've got strong buttocks and thighs here. And we're just going to breathe here in this pose for a few breaths. So we've got a nice broad open chest here. Just a couple of breaths there. And then as we breathe out, we're going to just very steadily drop the back down, nice and slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, until the whole of the back of the body is resting back down onto the mat. So we'll do that once more. So pushing into the soles of the feet, strong buttocks and thighs, lifting the bottom off the mat, then the back, lifting the belly upwards. A couple of breaths into our bridge. So the chin is towards the chest, the neck is nice and long. That's great. And then we're going to lower down once more, nice and slowly to the mat. So we'll do that once more, again pushing into the soles of the feet, lifting the belly upwards, breathing here. And then on that out breath, we're going to drop the back down, vertebrae by vertebrae, nice and steady. So now just letting the knees drop to one side, and we're going to come to lay on our sides. So just resting on the side of the body. You can close the eyes for a few moments. We'll just take a couple of breaths here. So now we're going to use that front palm, we're going to push it down into the mat, straightening the arm, lifting up into a sitting position. So now we're going to come to our pranayama, which is our breathing exercises. So for our breathing, we want to be in a really nice, comfortable position. So we can either come to cross-legged, or we can come to half lotus, where we put one foot onto the thigh. But if that's uncomfortable, just sticking with cross-legged. You can also, if cross-legged is uncomfortable, come to a kneeling pose. So just sitting the buttocks onto the heels. If sitting on the floor is uncomfortable, then you can also just sit on a chair, placing the soles of the feet onto the floor. So the first breathing we're going to do, we're going to work with the 3-part breath. So when we were lying down, we were doing abdominal breathing, breathing into the belly. This time we're going to be working on breathing into all of the lungs. And to isolate those and get into the rhythm of that, we're going to breathe into 3 parts of the lungs in turn. So we'll begin by taking those 3 big deep yogic breaths into the belly. So just like we were doing when we were lying down, expanding the belly on the in-breath and drawing the belly back on the exhalation. Then we'll take 3 breaths into the chest area, really visualizing expanding the ribs, opening the chest outwards, and then we're going to draw the chest back on the out breath. So lastly, we'll do 3 breaths into the top of the lungs, into the collarbone area. So this is quite usually the way that we breathe when we're not aware of our breathing. So day-to-day basis, we tend to breathe quite shallowly into the top of the lungs. So to start with, we're going to take our hands into Chin Mudra, so that's index finger and thumb together. So this mudra connects us to the whole of the universe and the space around us. So we'll just gently place the backs of the hands onto the top of the legs. And just before we begin, becoming aware of our posture, so dropping the shoulders back and down, lifting the crown, imagining you have a golden thread drawing the head upwards towards the ceiling. So elbows are just bent by the sides. So we're going to close the eyes so we can really focus on the feeling and the sensation of that breath. So beginning by taking a deep breath in through the nose, sending it to the belly, letting it expand, 2, 3, and pause. Exhaling through the nose, drawing the belly towards the spine. And once more, breathing in deeply through the nose to the belly. And pause. Exhaling, drawing back, 2, 3, 4. Last breath to that belly, letting it expand out like a balloon. And pause. Exhaling, 2, 3, 4. Now breathing in deeply through the nose to the chest, letting the ribs expand outwards, nice broad open chest, and pause. Exhaling through the nose, 2, 3, 4. Deep breath into the chest, nice open chest, and pause. Exhaling, 2, 3, 4. Last one to the chest, 2, 3, and pause. Exhaling, 2, 3, 4. Now breathing to the collarbone, to the top of the lungs, more shallow breath, and pause. Exhaling, 2, 3, 4. Again, directing that breath to the collarbone, 2, 3, and pause. Exhaling, 2, 3, 4. Last shallow breath, 2, 3, and pause. Exhaling, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to unite those 3. So big deep breath in, sending it to the belly, expanding the chest, breathing right up to the collarbone, and pause. exhaling, 2, 3, 4. Inhaling once more deeply to the belly, the chest and the collarbone, and pause, exhaling, 2, 3, 4. One last one, making it really big and deep, 2, 3, and pause, exhaling, 2, 3, 4. And now just keeping the eyes closed, just letting the breath settle back down to its natural rhythm, and just scanning the body, just feeling the body, seeing how that breath has left it feeling. That's great. And now we're just going to flick those eyes open. We'll give the fingers a little bit of a wiggle just to release that mudra. So now we're going to extend the legs along the mat, and we'll just give the legs a bit of a pound, just getting the blood flow going, releasing from that cross-legged posture. That's great. So we're going to come back to cross-legged or kneeling, or whichever position you were in for your breathing. We're going to recross with the opposite leg on top. So for our second breathing exercise today, we're going to do side stretch breath. So with this, we're incorporating our movement with the breath and allowing it to flow freely together. So we're going to take the fingers to the sides, and on the in-breath, we're going to breathe both arms up to center. And then on an exhale, we're going to drop the right palm down, and we're going to come over to stretch to the side with that left arm. Then we're going to inhale to center, exhaling, dropping left arm down, breathing to the other side. So on our inhalation, we're lifting to center, exhaling, stretching over to the side. Deep inhale to lift, nice straight arms, exhaling over to the left. Inhaling to center, exhaling over to the right. And just following that movement for a few breaths, just letting it flow with the rhythm of your own breath. So always inhaling to come to center and just exhaling then when you stretch to the side. And once you get into the flow of that, you can close the eyes if you wish and just focus on that movement. And just letting that breath be nice and flowing. That's lovely. One more each side. And then on the next in-breath, drawing the palms together, exhaling to bring the hands down in front of the chest to the heart into Namaste. And just pausing there for a moment. If you've got your eyes closed, just keeping them closed for a few moments. Just letting the breath settle and the body settle. And then flickering them open once more. So we'll just work on the shoulders to release those off after that breath. So just taking the hands to the shoulders, we're going to circle them round a few times. That's great. And then just reversing the direction, circling round a few times the opposite way. That's great. And then just releasing the arms. We're going to stretch the legs out once more, giving those legs a good pound along the mat. Fantastic, nice and released. So now we're going to come into a pose that's called seated staff pose or Dandasana, great for stretching out after our breathing. We're going to spread the fingers and we're going to take the hands a little bit behind us. So fingers are pointing towards the toes. We're going to breathe in deeply to push into the palms, straightening the arms. We're going to lift up, open the chest out. Now, if you've got no problems with your neck, you can take the head back, and then exhaling, we're going to release back down. So we'll do that one more time. Deep inhale to lift and push into the palms, straightening the arms. Chest is open and wide, and then exhaling, we're going to drop back down. So now just taking the feet to one side, we're going to come to cat and cow. So we're on all fours for this posture. We have our knees hip width apart, feet are flat and released down onto the mat behind us. Fingers are nice and spread, palms are planted firmly into the mat. If we can, we've got our wrist below our shoulders, but sometimes that can be a bit of a strain on the wrists. If that's straining our wrists, you can just take the hands forward a little bit to take the pressure off. So our starting position, we've got a nice flat back behind us. We're just gazing down towards the mat. Then on a deep inhale, we're going to lift the head up and look forwards. Exhaling, we're going to arch the back all the way up. Inhaling, then we're lifting and looking ahead. Exhaling, we're arching and tucking, lifting the navel up towards the spine. Inhaling, we're sweeping forwards, gazing ahead. Exhaling, we're taking the chin to the chest to raise the back up. Inhaling, looking forwards. Exhaling, we're gazing back towards the belly. So as we inhale, the belly drops down towards the mat. As we exhale, the belly rises upwards. So inhaling, we have a lovely broad open chest. Exhaling, we're tucking that tailbone under to lift. Inhaling, sweeping forwards once more. Exhaling to arch and tuck. So inhaling, dropping that belly down. Exhaling, raising the belly all the way up. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, taking that chin to the chest. Inhaling once more to sweep forwards. Exhaling to arch back. So we're going to inhale back to our flat back. So cat and cow is a lovely beginning posture just to wake up the spine. It's great for the back. So next we're going to do a pose called thread the needle with our cat and cow. So we're going to inhale to lift the right hand off the mat. And we're going to inhale to open that arm all the way out. We're taking it up towards the ceiling. Then on the exhale, we're going to thread that right hand between the left arm and the left knee. And we're going to see if we can take that right ear down to the mat. And we're just going to breathe there for a couple of breaths. And then inhaling, we're going to sweep that arm up once more, open and wide. Exhaling, we're going to thread that arm through, taking that ear down to the mat if we can. Palm is facing up on that right hand. Breathing here. And once more, we're going to inhale to open, broad open chest, stretching up with the fingertips. Exhaling, threading through, ear down to the mat. That's brilliant. And then we're going to place that palm onto the mat once more. We do the same on the other side. So lifting the left arm, inhaling to open it out to the side. Exhaling, threading that hand through. Left ear comes down to the mat. Breathing here, left palm's facing up, right arm is bent. And once more, inhaling to sweep open and wide. Exhaling, we're going to thread through once more. A couple of breaths in that position. And again, last one, inhaling, open and wide once more, exhaling to thread through. That's great. So now we're going to take that palm back down onto the mat, and we're going to come up into a posture called down facing dog. So we're going to breathe in and we're going to tuck our toes under behind us. Then as we exhale, we're going to lift the hips up towards the ceiling, so feet are apart, fingers are nice and spread, pushing down into the mat. Now we're just going to tread those heels up and down as if we're walking on the spot. So we're bending and stretching the legs. We can also swing the hips a little bit from side to side. This just lets that movement flow up and down the spine. So arms are straight, palms are flat into the mat, ears are level with the tops of the arms, so the crown is pointing down to the floor. So no tension in the neck. So we don't want to be lifting our heads like this. We just want that head to drop down so everything is nice and relaxed. And then from here, we're just going to walk the feet towards the hand, take the feet apart, bending the knees so they're nice and soft. We're going to inhale to sweep both arms up, keeping the knees bent. Exhaling, we're going to drop down. Inhaling, we're lifting up. Exhaling, dropping down. Inhaling up. Exhaling, releasing down. Inhaling up. Exhaling, releasing down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down, and this time we're going to inhale to stay up. We're going to bring the palms together, exhaling to take the hands to the heart. That's great. Well done. So next we're going to move on to a very fundamental part of our yoga practice, which is the sun salutations. So I will practice with you two variations of this. The first two rounds we're going to do are more gentle rounds, incorporating cat and cow. Following that, we're going to move on to two classical rounds, which are a little bit stronger. So the sun salutations aim to warm up the whole body from the crown of the head to the tips of the toes. We use all the muscle groups apart from the jaw in this sequence. So it's a great one to do at any time if you just want to exercise the whole body. So we're going to move through these nice and slowly. I am going to cue the breath, but please don't worry if you're not breathing when I'm saying or breathing what I'm saying at first. The fundamental thing to begin with is just getting that movement. So if you're wearing socks, just taking those off, that just helps to grip the mat better. We're going to start at the top of the mat. We've got the feet about an inch from the top, and we're standing tall in a pose called mountain pose or Tadasana. So for this pose, we're dropping the shoulders back and down. The arms are nice and relaxed by the sides. The crown is lifted, so imagine that golden thread once more, drawing the crown upwards towards the ceiling. Chin is parallel to the floor. So we're just going to inhale to shrug the shoulders up towards the ears, and then we're going to exhale to roll those shoulders back and down. So we've got a nice broad open chest. That's great. So now we're going to inhale to lift the arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, we're going to fold all the way forwards. We're bringing the palms down to the mat. So do bend the knees here if you need to get those palms flat. We're dropping the crown down. So we're going to take a nice deep in-breath to step back with the right foot, and we're going to drop the right knee down. So the toes are tucked under on that back foot. We can come onto the fingertips, front knee is bent. So in our lunge, we're aiming to look forwards, have a nice open chest. So from here then, we're going to drop those palms down to the mat. We're going to release the back toe. We're going to take the other knee back. So we're onto all fours for cat and cow as we did at the beginning of the class. So we're going to breathe in to look forwards. Exhaling, we're going to arch all the way back up. Inhaling, then the belly drops down, head rises. Exhaling, drawing the belly all the way up. Inhaling for a nice broad open chest. Exhaling, we're taking the chin to the chest. Then we're going to inhale to a flat back, to that neutral spine position. Exhaling, we're going to tuck those toes under behind us, and we're lifting up into down facing dog. So we're pushing the heels down towards the mat here, and the hips are moving back behind us towards the back of the room. So now we're going to take a nice deep breath in. We're going to drop the left knee down onto the floor, and we're going to take that right foot forwards. So we're back at the top of the mat into our lunge, as if we're starting off running a race. So then from here, we're going to meet both the feet together, dropping the crown down to the ground for our forward fold, bending the knees here if you need to. Inhaling, then we're going to open wide, reaching nice and tall, stretching all the way up. Exhaling, then we're folding forward once more, so palms are flat, knees are bent. Inhaling, we're going to take that left leg back. We're dropping the left knee down, lifting onto the fingertips, opening and widening into our lunge. So we're dropping those palms down, releasing that back toe, taking that front leg back, and we're onto all fours once more for cat and cow. So inhaling, we're going to look ahead. Exhaling, we're going to gaze towards the navel. Inhaling, opening and widening. Exhaling to arch and tuck. Inhaling for a broad open chest. Exhaling, we're taking the chin to the chest. Inhaling, we're coming back to that flat back, neutral spine position. Exhaling, we're going to tuck those toes under, lifting up into down facing dog. So we're pushing the heels down towards the mat, pushing the hips towards the back of the room. Crown is down towards the floor. Inhaling, then we're going to drop the right knee to the mat. The left foot's coming forward, so we're back into our lunge, looking ahead towards the front of the mat. Exhaling, then we're going to meet both feet together. We're going to drop the crown down for a forward fold. Inhaling, we're opening wide, we're reaching all the way up. So we're going to do one round again, once more of those on each side. So exhaling, we're going to fold down, crown to the ground. Inhaling, we're taking that right leg back, we're dropping the right knee down, we're lifting and looking ahead for our lunge. Dropping the palms down, taking the front leg back, we're onto all four, releasing the toes for cat and cow. Inhaling, lifting, exhaling, arching and tucking. Inhaling, belly drops down, exhaling, belly rises up. Inhaling to look ahead, exhaling to gaze towards the navel. Inhaling, flat back, exhaling to tuck those toes under, lifting the hips nice and high, chest is low in our down facing dog. Inhaling, we're dropping that left knee to the mat, right foot's coming forward between the hands, chest is open and lifted. Exhaling, then we're going to meet the feet together, crown to the ground for a forward fold. Inhaling, we're opening the arms wide, reaching up, extended Tadasana. Exhaling, we're going to fold down once more, crown to the ground. Inhaling, we're taking that left leg back, we're dropping the left knee down, looking forwards for our lunge. Dropping the palms, coming onto all fours, releasing the toes for cat and cow. Inhaling, looking up. Exhaling, gazing all the way back. Inhaling to sweep forwards. Exhaling, we're tucking the tailbone under. Inhaling, opening and widening. Exhaling to arch all the way back. So then we're inhaling to that flat back, neutral spine position. Exhaling, we're tucking those toes under, lifting up nice and high for down facing dog. Inhaling, we're going to drop the right knee to the mat and bringing that left foot forward between the hands, lifting and opening for our lunge. Exhaling, then we're meeting both feet together, front of the mat for a forward fold. Inhaling, opening wide, reaching tall, bringing the palms together. Exhaling, hands to the heart. Well done. So do have a drink now if you would like to. Okay. So next we're going to have a go at our classical rounds. which are quite similar to what we've just done, but there's a couple of extra poses to learn. So we'll take this nice and slowly and we'll have a look at each pose in turn as we flow through. Again, as I say, don't worry too much if you're not breathing the same way that I'm cueing, just working with the movement to get used to that first. So we're going to start again in mountain pose. We're about an inch from the top of the mat. We're just going to lift the toes up, spreading the toes, having them nice and wide, popping them down back onto the mat so we've got that nice firm base through the feet. Dropping the shoulders back and down, we're lifting the crown. So nice deep in-breath to stretch all the way up for extended Tadasana, fingers up towards the sky. Exhaling, folding all the way down, palms are flat, knees are bent if you need to. So the crown is dropping down to the mat, Uttanasana. Inhaling, we're going to step back with that right foot. We're going to drop the right knee down. We're lifting and opening, coming onto the fingertips for our lunge. So next, we're going to retain the breath to step back into plank. So for this, we're planting the palms down, stepping that front left foot back, and we're into plank or press up pose. So important things here, we need a nice straight line with the body. So what we don't want to do is push the hips upwards, and also we don't want to drop down either. We want to try and be in a nice straight line. So from this position, we're going to exhale to drop the whole body down to the mat, and we're going to release the toes behind us. So from here, we've got a couple of pose options. Gentle option is to come into Sphinx. So we drop the forearms down and we inhale to lift the head for a gentle back bend. So those of you that want to work a little more strongly, we can come into a low cobra here. So our elbows are nice and tucked in towards the body, and we're inhaling and lifting up a little bit higher. So from either of those positions, we're then going to tuck the toes under, exhaling, we're lifting up into down facing dog. Now this time we've got our feet together in our down facing dog. We're pushing the heels down towards the mat. Hips are moving backwards, and from our down facing dog we're going to breathe into our lunge. So we're going to drop that left knee down and we're bringing the right foot forward. So we're back to the top of the mat into a lunge. Exhaling then, we're bringing both feet together, front of the mat for a forward fold. Inhaling, we're opening wide, reaching all the way up. Exhaling then, we're going to fold down once more for the other side. So we're inhaling to step the left leg back, we're dropping the left knee down, opening and widening in our lunge, retaining the breath, dropping the palms down, stepping that front leg back, straight line with the body in our plank, so strong buttocks and thighs here. Exhaling, we're going to drop the whole body down to the mat, we're going to release the toes behind us, inhaling either onto the forearms for the gentle version I showed you, or breathing up to cobra. Elbows are in. Exhaling then, we're going to tuck those toes under, lifting all the way up into down facing dog. Inhaling, we're going to drop that right knee down, the left foot's coming forward, chest is lifted. Exhaling then, meeting both feet together, front of the mat for a forward fold. Inhaling, we're opening wide, reaching tall, bringing the palms together. Exhaling, hands to your heart. Well done. It can be a lot to think about in our sun salutations when we first start them, so just working at your own pace with these. So we're going to do a standing breath now, just to have a little breather and just settle our bodies back down. So we're going to take the feet about hip width apart, or a little bit further apart if you wish. And we're going to do a breath called cactus breath. So we're going to take the elbows together and the palms together, excuse me, and we've got the arms at right angles. So we're going to inhale to open those arms out, drawing the shoulders back and down, and then we're going to exhale to bring those arms back together. So inhaling, we're opening and widening, exhaling, drawing the arms towards each other. Inhaling to open out, exhaling back. Inhaling to open out, exhaling, drawing back together. And just working that for a few breaths at your own pace. Nice broad open chest as you draw those arms back on that inhale. That's great, well done. Couple more. One last one. And then bringing the palms together and dropping them to the heart. That's great. Just giving the arms a little bit of a shake. Fantastic. So we're going to come to a further 2 sun salutations, and I'm just going to show you another variation of one of the poses in this. So we're coming to the front of the mat once more. We're standing tall in Tadasana, mountain pose. Crown is lifted, chin is parallel to the floor, arms are nice and relaxed down by the sides. Nice deep in-breath to lift the arms all the way up, exhaling, folding all the way forwards, palms are flat, knees are bent. Inhaling, taking that right leg back, we're dropping the right knee down, we're lifting and opening for our lunge. Retaining the breath, we're going to step back into a nice strong plank, so strong buttocks and thighs here. So there's 2 options from here. As I showed you before, you can just drop the whole of the body down. The other option is a pose called 8-point pose. So for this pose, we're connecting to the mat with 8 parts of the body. So the first 2 are the feet, then we drop the knees down, we're sending the bottom back, bending the elbows, dropping the chest and the chin down to the mat, so elbows are in. So the bottom is sort of sticking out behind us. From here, we're then using the toes to push us forward, releasing the toes, and then we're inhaling to lift up into our cobra or onto the forearms for Sphinx. From there then, we're exhaling again to come back up into our down facing dog, having the feet together, pushing the heels down towards the mat. Inhaling then, we're going to drop that left knee down, the right foot's coming forward between the hands, chest is lifted. Exhaling, we're meeting the feet together, front of the mat, we're dropping the crown to the ground. Nice deep inhale to lift and open wide, stretching up nice and tall. Exhaling, we're going to fold down for that left hand side. So inhaling, we're taking that left leg back, we're dropping the left knee down, lifting and opening as if we're starting to run a race. Dropping the palms down, we're going to step back into plank. Now, if you are struggling with that 8-point pose, you can just drop the whole body down to the mat so that your belly is flat on the mat as we did at the beginning. Otherwise, we're going to drop those knees down first. We're going to bend the elbows, dropping the chest and the chin down, sending the bottom back. Then from here, we're pushing with the toes, inhaling to send the belly down to the mat, opening and widening the chest to come back into cobra or onto the forearms into Sphinx. Then from here, we're going to exhale to tuck the toes under, lifting the hips up, Ardha Mukha Savasana, down facing dog, ears are level with the tops of the arms, so there's no tension there in the neck. Inhaling then, we're going to drop that right knee to the mat, the left foot's coming forward, we're opening and lifting in our lunge. Exhaling, meeting the feet together, front of the mat for a forward fold. We'll do one more round, so we're going to inhale to reach all the way up. Exhaling, we're folding forward once more. So we're inhaling to take that right leg back, we're dropping the right knee down, Chest is lifted and open in our lunge. Retaining that breath, we're stepping back, Kumbhakasana, plank pose. So straight line with the body here, either dropping the whole body down to the mat or alternatively doing 8-point pose. So we're dropping the knees first, elbows are bent, chin is down to the mat, chest is down to the mat. Inhaling, we're pushing forward with the toes, releasing those toes behind. Inhaling to open up for Cobra or Sphinx. Then we're exhaling to tuck the toes under, lifting up once more into our down facing dog. Inhaling, we're dropping that left knee down, right foot's coming forward between the hands, the chest is lifted. Exhaling, we're meeting both feet together, front of the mat, crown to the ground for a forward fold. Inhaling, we're going to open wide and come up for one last half round. Exhaling, folding down once more. So we're inhaling to take that left leg back. We're dropping the left knee down, opening and widening for our lunge. Dropping the palms down to the mat. We're stepping back with that front foot into our plank. So again, you can either lower the whole body down here if you wish to, or alternatively, we're going to drop knees, elbows in, chest and chin for 8-point pose. Inhaling, we're pushing forward with the toes. Belly is along the mat. We're lifting and opening the chest for Cobra or forearms for Sphinx. Then from here, we're exhaling to tuck those toes under behind us, lifting up, pushing the heels down towards the mat in our down-facing dog. Inhaling, we're dropping that right knee down. The left foot's coming forward this time. Chest is lifted. Exhaling, then we're meeting the feet together, front of the mat, crown to the ground for a forward fold. Inhaling, opening wide, reaching all the way up, and we're bringing the palms together to exhale, the hands to the heart. And just pausing there for a couple of breaths, perhaps closing the eyes. Well done. So do have a drink now if you would like to. Brilliant. So we're now going to come to another sequence. This sequence is called Sun Power Series 1. So we're going to take this nice and slowly. It's got some similarities with the sun salutation, but there's a few variations in here. So we're going to start at the top of the mat. The feet are together, arms are down by the sides. So this time we're going to come into a pose called Isis. So we're going to open the arms out to the side, fingers are spread, we're taking the chest forward, chin is parallel with the floor. So we just breathe here, a couple of breaths in Isis, nice broad open chest. Great, so now we're going to inhale to lift the arms all the way up. Exhaling, we're going to fold all the way forwards, palms are flat, knees are bent, dropping the crown down to the mat. So we're going to inhale to take that right leg back. We're going to drop the right knee down to the mat. So this time we're going to release the toes on that back foot, so that back foot is flat along the mat. So we're going to come onto the fingertips and we're going to lift the arms. So this is a bit of a balance, so just making sure that you feel quite steady before you lift the hands off the floor. We're going to inhale to lift the arms up and the palms are going to be facing each other. So we're just gazing ahead. This is called Crescent Moon. Then from here, we're going to take that front right hand, we're going to place it on the left knee, so it's across the body. Taking that top left hand, we're going to take it back behind us towards that back right leg. And we're going to turn to look over that left shoulder. That's great, so nice twist here. Then we're going to inhale to raise the arms back up. Exhaling, we're placing both palms onto the mat. We're going to tuck the toes under on that back foot and we're going to step back into plank. So from here, you can either drop the whole body down to the mat so it's flat onto the floor, or we can do 8-point pose. So we drop 2 knees first, then the chest and the chin comes down, the bottom is back. Inhaling, we're releasing the toes, we're lifting up for that cobra or sphinx. So from here, we're going to tuck the toes under, we're exhaling to lift up into down facing dog. So option here, if you want to work more gently, you can drop the knees and come into cat. In fact, I'll show you both versions. So we'll drop the knees into cat, and we can come into a 3-legged cat. So we'll just lift that right leg back. So stronger alternative, we're in our down facing dog, and we'll just take that right leg back. So then we're going to drop that right foot down, dropping the left knee down. We're coming forward back into a lunge at the top of the mat, and we're lifting and opening. Exhaling then, we're meeting those feet together. We're keeping the head down. We're going to come onto the fingertips and we're going to lift the head for gazing pose. Then we're going to exhale to drop the head back down to the mat. Inhaling, we're opening and widening, reaching up for extended Tadasana. Exhaling, we're folding forward once more, crown to the ground. So we're going to inhale that left leg back this time. We're dropping the left knee down. We're releasing the toes on that back foot so that foot is flat onto the mat. So once more, finding your balance here. So we can just come onto the fingertips first. When you're feeling steady, we can inhale to come up for that crescent moon. That's great. Then we're going to take that left hand, we're going to put it onto the right knee, and we're going to take the other arm behind, and we're looking over that right shoulder. Well done. Then we're going to inhale to lift up. Exhaling, we're dropping the palms down, tucking that back toe under behind us, stepping back into plank. So option here, just to drop the whole body down to the mat. Or alternatively, we're dropping knees, chest and chin, keeping the elbows in towards the body. Inhaling, we're pushing forward, releasing those toes, opening up for cobra or sphinx. Exhaling then, we're going to tuck those toes under, up into dog. If you're feeling that you want to work more gently, just dropping the knees and coming into cat instead. So either in your cat or in dog, we can inhale to take that left leg back. Then we're going to drop that left leg down. We're going to drop the right knee down, bringing the left foot forward. We're back at the top of the mat for our lunge. So then we're going to meet both feet together, front of the mat, crown down for a forward fold. We're coming onto the fingertips, staying down, inhaling to lift the head for gazing pose. Exhaling, then we're dropping the head down. Inhaling, we're going to open wide, reaching up, bringing the palms together. Exhaling, hands to the heart. That's great, well done. So once more, we'll just have a drink, just to keep us hydrated. So we're going to come to some balance now. So first of all, we're going to do quite a nice simple little sequence to prepare us for our balancing poses. So for the first round of this, we're going to keep the toe on the floor, and then we're going to do another round and we're going to have a go at lifting the foot a little from the mat. So we're starting with the feet a comfortable distance apart. We're going to inhale to take the right foot forward and both hands forward, pointing that toe. And then we're going to exhale back. Inhaling, we're going to take that right foot to the side, arms out to the side. Exhaling, bringing them back. Then we're going to take both arms forward, right leg back, pointing that toe. And then inhaling to come back to centre. So we'll work the other side. Inhaling, left foot forward, both arms forward. Exhaling back. Inhaling, we're taking the foot to the side, arms out to the side. Exhaling back. Inhaling, arms forward, leg back. That's great. And coming back to centre. So we're going to do that again, but this time we're going to have a go at lifting that foot a little bit from the mat. Just see how you go. If you find that challenging, you can just keep the toe onto the floor. So inhaling, both arms forward, leg forward. Exhaling back. Inhaling, leg to the side, arms to the side. Exhaling back. Inhaling, then legs forward, foot back. Inhaling back. So same on the other side. Inhaling, left leg forward, arms forward. Exhaling back. Inhaling, foot to the side. Exhaling back. Inhaling, arms forward, leg back. Exhaling back. That's great, well done. So we're going to have a go now at tree pose. Do feel free to use a wall to support you with your balance if you've got one by you. So we can work this to various degrees. We can also keep one foot onto the floor as well here if you need to. So we're going to start by grounding down the left leg. So with our balance, we're always thinking about the 4 points: big toe, little toe, heel and ankle. So we're going to really visualise that standing leg really grounding down towards the mat. We're going to find a fixed point for our gaze, about 1 metre or 3 foot in front of us. So gazing downwards, make sure it's something that's not moving, that's nice and still. So we're going to take the right heel to that left ankle and just rest it there. Inhaling, we're going to lift the arms all the way up, bringing the palms together. Exhaling, we're going to take the hands to the heart. So this is tree. We can stay in this position. Or if you're feeling quite steady with that fixed point for the gaze, we can lift that right foot up and take it to the lower leg. So just breathing here for a few breaths. Excuse me, a little unsteady. If you lose it, just coming back into it, fixing that gaze once more. So then we're going to drop that foot down, release the hands. We're going to give that standing foot a little bit of a shake. So we'll come to the same on the other side. So spreading the toes on that right foot, really grounding it down, big toe, little toe, heel and ankle to the floor. Taking the heel of the left foot to that right ankle. Inhaling to lift the arms up, bringing the palms together. Exhaling to take the hands to the heart. So from here, we're just going to lift that foot, if you can, taking it to the inside of the lower leg. And then exhaling to release. And again, just giving that standing leg a bit of a shake. That's great. Okay, so we're going to come down to the floor now. So we'll just step forward one foot, take the other leg behind, bending to come down to the floor. So just having your belt or your scarf handy now for this one, we're going to do a pose called Janu Sirsasana, which is half head to knee pose. So we'll stretch the legs out in front. We're going to have, let's start with the right leg. So we're going to straighten the right leg. We're going to bend the knee of the left leg. We're going to have the sole of that left foot gently resting inside the thigh. So it's not underneath, it's just by the side. Now, seeing how that knee feels, if it feels uncomfortable, you can always kind of place a couple of cushions there to cushion that knee. We're just going to let that knee roll to the side. So we're going to place our belt or our scarf around the foot of that extended leg. So that the foot is flexed, so the toes are drawing towards us. We're going to inhale to lift up, holding onto our belt or our scarf, and then on the exhalation, we're going to drop the belly down towards the thigh. We're going to walk along that belt as far as we can until we're into that stretch. If you can reach that foot, that's brilliant, but just holding on to the belt or scarf if not. So we're going to gaze towards the toes or towards the ankle, and we're coming down over that leg and just closing the eyes. So we're going to hold this for a few breaths. So just coming into that comfortable position here with this. And on each exhale, you might find that you are able just to drop a little bit deeper into this pose. So if at any point this feels too much, just coming out of it, we'll hold for a few breaths. If you need to, then just bending that knee a little bit on that right leg. And then we're going to walk back along that belt or along that leg to come back up. So just releasing the belt. We're going to bring the feet together, cupping the feet into the hands. We're going to walk the bottom towards the heels. So now just dropping those shoulders back and down and just letting the knees flutter up and down. So this pose is called butterfly pose. So this just allows our hips to release after that stretch. That's great, well done. So now we're going to release the hands from the feet. We're going to take the hands either side of the knees. We're going to draw the knees together. And then we're going to straighten the left leg along the mat to do the other side. So bending that right knee out to the side, sole of the right foot just inside that left thigh. We're going to pop the belt around that extended leg. And flexing the foot, we're going to inhale to lift up. Exhaling, we're walking along that belt, taking the belly towards the thigh and just gazing to the toes or the ankles and relaxing and releasing into that stretch. As I say, if you need to bend that extended leg, then just bending that a little bit, that helps you to come down if it's a bit tight. And we're just going to close the eyes and just allow the body to settle into that stretch. And then on an in-breath, walking back along that belt or along that leg or that scarf and coming up, just placing the belt or scarf to one side. So we'll bring those feet back together and we're cupping the feet into the hands, dropping the shoulders down and just allowing the knees to flutter up and down in butterfly once more. That's great. Then just releasing the hands, taking them either side of the knees, drawing the knees together, and we're going to give ourselves a nice hug, taking the forehead down to the knees. And just breathing here for a few breaths, letting the neck stretch out. And then on an in-breath, just very slowly raising the head back up. That's great. So we're going to come to a twist now. So just taking a cross-legged position. If cross-legged is uncomfortable, once more you can come into a kneeling position if that feels better. So we're going to work with a twisting breath first, and then we're going to hold that twist. Twists are really beneficial for our digestive system. They really help to release any tension as well in the abdomen. So they're a great stress buster as well as really good for our digestion. So we're going to take the hands down to the sides. We're going to inhale to lift the arms up, palms are facing. Then on an out breath, we're going to take that left hand to the right knee across the body. Right arm is moving back, we're looking back over that right shoulder. Then we're going to inhale to come to center, palms are facing. Exhaling, right hand to left knee, left hand is behind. Inhaling to come to center, exhaling, crossing the body, twisting to the right hand side. Inhaling, lifting to center, exhaling, twisting to the left. Inhaling center, exhaling to twist to the right. And just working that a few times with your own breath, so always inhaling to the center and exhaling to twist to the side. You can close the eyes as well and just let that movement flow with your breath. And then inhaling to come to center. This time we're going to take that left hand to the right knee, taking that right arm behind, looking over the right shoulder. We're going to close the eyes and we're going to hold there. So just staying in that position, closing the eyes, taking the focus inwards and just breathing into that twist for a few breaths. And then inhaling, sweeping both arms to center. Exhaling, right hand to left knee, other arm behind, looking over the left shoulder, closing the eyes. Breathing here. Then inhaling to sweep both arms up to center, bringing the palms together. Exhaling, taking the hands to the heart and just pausing there for a moment. A few deep breaths. And flickering the eyes open. That's great. So now we're going to take the hands behind us. Fingers are pointing forward. Fingers are nice and spread. Pushing those palms into the mat. On an in-breath, we're going to lift the belly upwards. You can drop the head back, but only if that's going to be okay on your neck. Otherwise, keeping the head up. And then exhaling, we're going to drop back down to the mat. Well done. So next we're going to come to some gentle back bends in the form of Sphinx. Now, always being very mindful with your back. If at any point it doesn't feel comfortable, just releasing from that pose. So we're going to work with Sphinx today, which we did work with earlier in our sun salutations, but this time we're going to do that posture on its own. So we're going to lay our bellies down onto the mat. We're going to have the big toes together and the heels apart. So nice relaxed heels, really letting those heels move to the sides. We're going to have the hands either side of the cheeks, fingers are spread. The elbow is in line with that middle finger. So we've got a straight line here along that arm. Elbows are tucked in to the body. We're going to take the forehead down to the mat. So really making sure once more that those heels are relaxed and spreading to the sides. So we're going to inhale to draw the nose along the mat. We're going to lift the head up and we're going to lift the chest. So looking forwards, nice open chest. A breath there, and then we're going to exhale to lower back down. So once more, we're going to take a deep breath in to draw the nose along the mat, lifting, breathing there, and then we're going to exhale to lower back down, nice and steady. So we'll do one more of those, inhaling to lift up, looking forwards, nice open chest, and then we're going to exhale to drop all the way back down. So from here, we're going to just take the elbows out to the sides. We're going to place one palm on top of the other, and we're going to drop the left cheek down onto the backs of the hands. We're just going to close the eyes, and we're going to breathe up and down the body. So we're going to visualize that breath in the back of the body and really visualize it moving from the crown of the head right down to the tip of the tailbone and back up to the crown of the head. So just resting here for a few breaths, really visualizing that breath traveling through the back of the body. Then just lifting the head, turning the other cheek to the other side, resting that right cheek onto the hands. And again, visualize that breath traveling up and down the spine. That's great. So now we're going to push back into a pose called Child's Pose. We're going to take the hands underneath the shoulders, elbows are in. We're going to push back, big toes are together, knees are apart. We're going to drop the bottom onto the heels, stretching the hands out in front, taking the forehead down to the mat. And just as we were on the mat, just lying down on the mat just now, we're going to breathe up and down the back part of the body, so from the tip of the tailbone up to the crown of the head. So we're really lengthening through the torso here, so bottom is pushing towards those heels, arms are outstretched, nice length through the body. And just breathing here, closing the eyes.
And now we're just going to walk those hands very slowly back towards the body. We're going to keep the head down. So keeping that head down, we can bring that up very slowly. Last of all, we're sitting back onto the heels, coming up into a kneeling position. That's great. So we're going to come down to relax now and to do a final meditation and relaxation, just to absorb everything that we've done already with our postures. So for this, you might like to put socks back on, put some warm things on, or as I suggested at the beginning, do grab a blanket to place over you to keep you nice and warm, having a pillow or a cushion for your head, just to really make that relaxation as comfortable as possible. So we're going to bring the heels to the end of the mat once more. We're going to point the toes away, drawing the arms up to shoulder height. Engaging the belly, we're going to lower down nice and steady to the mat. So as we did at the beginning, just taking the arms mat width apart, turning the palms to face upwards, letting the fingers gently curl inwards. We're going to draw the shoulders down away from the ears and take the legs about hip width apart, just letting the feet roll to the sides. Closing the eyes and just letting the body relax and release down into the support of the mat beneath you. Bringing that focus once more to your body, to that internal world. And staying there, remaining lying down and relaxing into the mat. So as you lie still, I am going to once more take your focus to each part of the body in turn to enable you to relax more fully. So lying still, taking the focus to the toes, allowing them to soften and release. Smoothing the tops of the feet and the soles of the feet. Relaxing the ankles, the calves and the shins, and releasing the knees downwards. Allowing the thighs to be soft and letting them sink towards the mat. Letting the hips open and widen, creating that space in the belly and the abdomen. Relaxing the muscles between the ribs, allowing the chest to open and widen with each breath. Drawing the shoulders back and down towards the mat, allowing the top of the chest to open and widen. And relaxing the tops of the arms, the elbows, the forearms and the wrists. Smoothing the backs of the hands, the palms, and softening the fingers. Relaxing the neck and softening the jaw, letting the tongue drop to the base of the mouth. Smoothing the forehead and the cheeks, allowing the eyes and the head to sink back. Just bringing your awareness to your breath. Witness the in-breath and the out-breath and the rise and fall of the belly.
Do not try to alter it in any way. Just feel that slow coming and going of the breath. Observe the quiet rhythm as you breathe and allow yourself to drift with the sound. Notice the soft inhale, like the sound of so, the pause, and the sound of hum on the exhale, just like the waves moving in and out of the seashore. Visualize yourself walking along a beautiful sun-kissed beach with golden sand cushioning your step, warming the soles of your feet. You look out at the vast blue sea before you, which is calm, stretching out as far as the eye can see, far into the distance. After a while, you come to rest on the soft sand, allowing it to support your body as you lie quietly on the beach. You look up into a perfectly clear blue cloudless sky, and as you close your eyes, you can feel the warmth of the sunlight against your skin. Your body sinks deeper into the sand, and you become aware of the soft sound of the waves gently moving in and out of the shore, in rhythm with the coming and going of your own breath. Bathed in sunlight, you are totally relaxed and at peace. The sand forms a comforting soft bed beneath you, allowing you to feel completely calm as you sink deeper and deeper into the sand. As you lie perfectly still, you can hear the sound of the seagulls in the sky, and you can feel all your muscles release. Your body is as light as the warm breeze, totally at ease. Any worries float away into the distance, carried by the waves. Rest here for a while, with the warmth of the soft sand fully supporting you, and the gentle breeze blowing away any tension into the distance. Feeling totally relaxed, still and at peace. Just very slowly now becoming aware of the body once more, feeling the points where the body meets the mat beneath you, those points of connection. Feeling the body resting steady on the mat. And now just beginning to breathe a little bit of movement back to the fingers and to the toes. And just bringing the palms together, rubbing the palms, creating that warmth, that energy between the hands. And then just resting the palms over the eyes and onto the cheeks, allowing that warmth to sink down into the face. And then just very gently releasing the hands. When you're ready, just turning to rest on one side. So just lying on your side. Pausing here for a moment or two. And then when you're ready, there's no rush. You can use that front palm, pushing it into the mat, straightening the arm to come back up for a sitting position. So thank you very much. And Om Namaste.